Hello everyone, it's Dylan from Yugioh Everything, and welcome back to another Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains review. This time we will be reviewing episode 81, the beginning part of the Go and Playmaker Duel of Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, and I've done 40 reviews of Arc 5. I started when Arc 5 was in the late 90s, early hundreds. I've done 80 reviews of VRains, and for the first time in over 120 episode reviews on this channel, I am joined by someone that wants to do the review with me. Want to introduce yourself real quick?
Hey everyone, I'm Cal. You've probably seen me on here before.
Yeah, he's one of the reoccurring guests on the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Fans Discuss VRains. Hadn't really seen a Yu-Gi-Oh! Before this, has watched VRains, enjoyed VRains, and he has to work from home today, and this is what the adult life is. Instead of working, we're recording a Yu-Gi-Oh! video.
Whoa. Don't say instead. I got my laptop here.
That's true. But no, all kidding aside, really excited to have you on. Really excited to hear from all of you regarding Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, this episode especially. So, the episode was good, generally speaking. I liked it. The thing that they've done with Go's character, again, it's something that I never would have expected them to do. It's a route that I did not foresee them going. But what I really liked at the beginning of this episode, before the duel began, is it was very somber. We see Emma at her brother's grave. I don't know if she just got him a gravestone. I don't know if she's just associating her father's grave with Blood Shepherd. That's pretty much the last time that she saw her brother in the real world. And the typical cliche happens where she's driving home or she's walking and the rain begins to fall. And that, rain is always associated with gloominess, with dread, and maybe not dread, but, darker feelings, darker emotions. And it's a very sombering time for the characters in Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, for the good guys. They've lost Blood Shepherd, who by no means was an ally, but he was another roadblock between them, especially in Emma's case, between them and death. And Lightning and Soul Technologies are breathing down their necks. The Ignis, from their perspective, they just saw Earth go. So they know that their safety is not guaranteed. If Earth can get killed off the way he did, so can they. From Emma and Yusaku and Homura's perspective and Aoi's perspective, if Blood Shepherd can get killed off the way he did, so can they. So there is this gloomy feeling around VRains, around the show, and I think they demonstrated it really well. They give you a sprinkle of hope by saying, oh my god, Earth's traces, the Earth Ignis traces are appearing in Link VRains. We have to go into Link VRains. Earth is alive. I started celebrating. Flame was a little more hesitant. He's saying, alright, look, we've been fooled a few times. We saw with our own eyes, or we felt. They didn't watch what happened. Aoi and Emma did. But we know what happened to Flame, or to Earth, excuse me. We don't want to just assume that he's okay. And Flame, that's what I like about the Fire Ignis. He's much more reserved than I. And I is like, why you gotta rain on my parade? Why you gotta do that? Let's just be happy for once. They go into the Link VRains, and this is not a happy show. It is Go Onizuka, who looks worse and worse by the episodes. And before the duel begins, we also got some nice scenes with Queen. And Queen is being displayed as this shrewd, heartless CEO, which is a classic CEO trope in the real world especially. A lot of people view CEOs as being very shrewd human beings, as being very cutthroat. They don't really care about, in some cases, their employees and maybe the well-being of others. They just want to get the job done by any means necessary. And that is Queen to a T. She is the typical CEO of big business. And she, again, has the potential. We don't know if they're going to go that route with her character, but if she is a main antagonist, which I think she will be after this whole Evil Ignis thing gets settled, she will again be the first girl antagonist in Yu-Gi-Oh! VRains, or in all of Yu-Gi-Oh! Main antagonist, which is really cool. So hopefully, and I really like the way they've done it, Akira getting more and more angry with her, because Akira is just realizing the shrewdness that she has as an individual, that she doesn't care about Go, she doesn't care about his well-being, and he realizes in this episode, as does everyone else, that the Earth Ignis has been transformed, or his data has been transplanted into Go Onizuka. And Go is now one with the Earth Ignis, and he summons in the duel Crystal Heart. And when he summons Crystal Heart, right before he does it, Aqua falls to her knees. She's very upset about the whole situation. And what I loved about Aqua too in this episode is she kind of foreshadowed that something bad was going to happen. Because as everyone else was going into VRains, and Aoi said, I'm going to go with them, which she ended up going into VRains, which was cool. Aqua goes, I just feel like something sad is going to happen. And exactly that. I mean, Earth is now part of the man who killed him. I don't even know if Go is a man at this point. I mean, I've talked a lot about his character and what they've done with it and how I've really liked it, honestly. He's a character that I want to see defeated, that I want to see saved in certain ways, that I do feel bad for. But, you know, before this transformation, he was just kind of there. He didn't really have that much of a purpose. He wasn't connected to the Lost Incident during the first season. And so what they've done with his character is they've handled him in a way where they've just sprung him onto the main plot and gotten him involved in the main plot. And so I've really, really enjoyed that with him. But yeah. And when Go summons the Link monster, which I thought when I covered the summaries, I said, I have a feeling that he's going to summon Crystal Heart, that he's going to summon Aqua's monster. And he almost had this demeanor about him where he was happy to put the memory of Earth back into Aqua and back into all the characters. Like, yeah, I killed Earth. This is my trophy. You know, read it and weep. That kind of attitude, that kind of mentality. And the heart was not pure like when Earth summoned it. It was darkened. It had this veil around it, this dark aura. And that perfectly sums up Go's heart and the character that he has become. And so the duel itself was very interesting. We didn't really see too much of the duel. He summoned King T Wrestle, the Link 3 monster, to end it, and he has Crystal Heart. And when he changed the effects of the monsters to the Cybursts, you knew what was going to come. You knew that Link summon was going to come, and that was, especially when Aqua then was getting very emotional before it even happened, you knew what was going to come. That was really well done. Playmaker trying to get through to Go, just not happening. And I just feel like this is the end for Go and Izuku. Whether he wins or loses, or there's a no result or a draw, I feel like this is it. I really do feel like Go is going to die after this duel. So that's where I want to give it to you. Do you think? First of all, what did you think about the episode? But before you give your thoughts about the episode, do you think that this is the end for Go?
Well, my trademarked saying from the beginning was Go's gotta go.
I know.
But I think it's Go's gonna go. Well, I really think he's done here.
Daniel J. Edwards, the voice actor of Go in the English dub, said he wanted to have a few words with you.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, I mean, there's only so much more I feel like at this point you can do with him. And I feel like this duel is gonna last, I would assume, like a pretty long while. And I just think, regardless, win, lose, like you said, win, lose, draw, no result, anything. So I think something's going to happen to Go, and he's not going to make it through this duel. Alive, if he's even alive right now.
I agree. I completely agree.
I don't even know if he's alive.
No, I don't know. I don't think he's human anymore. In fact, they foreshadowed it in the 81 preview. They literally said, this is the final duel.
Yeah.
It's not Playmaker's final duel. You know whose final duel it is.
Are you sure?
Well, maybe they'll pull that plot twist, kill Playmaker.
Well, they do. The only way they kind of almost cover it up, where it's like, well, maybe it's not Go's final duel, is he's like, this is the final time I'm going to duel you, trying to say, like, he's going to win.
Right.
So, like, maybe it's almost from his perspective, like, it's the final, but yeah.
Even Zaizen, even Akira has hinted that, he's gonna die if you put him back out there, and Queen doesn't give a crap. Well, and she's performed more experiments than Akira was even realized on him.
Akira's close to just exploding, and I think just Akira, completely being done with Soul altogether.
And a lot of people I'll see every now and then people will pop up and blame Akira for not doing more, which I think is unfair. I understand, what can he do though? He's really just in a very tough position.
Well, I mean, in the beginning, I kind of saw that where I was like, why doesn't he do more to and now you're starting to see it. It's like, first of all, Queen she doesn't care at all what you think. She's going to do what she wants and get her job done.
Yeah.
And I think he's to the point where something's going to happen to Go, and I feel like he feels a burden, like it's his fault. And I feel like if Go, dies or disappears or whatever he is just, he's gone, I think he's going to feel like the burden of that.
It's going to weigh.
He's going to be gone.
It's going to weigh on his conscience.
I think Akira is just done with Soul at that point.
Yeah. It's going to weigh on his conscience. And I think we even see that with Akira as this is getting closer to what I believe is going to be Go's, death. And I say death because in Yu-Gi-Oh! A lot of the times the characters do get revived, even though we do see permadeaths every now and then. But as he's getting closer to that breaking point, which he's going to hit, Akira's getting more and more angry. He's getting more and more emotional. He's yelling at the workers. Why the hell did you put Earth in this guy's, in Go's mind? And then Queen comes up on the intercom and is like, oh, I did it. I told them to do it. Just, he's getting near his breaking point. And what's really interesting, Go has anti-skill, which allows him to cancel out his opponent's skill, draw 2 cards. We see in the preview that Playmaker is in Storm Access and uses his skill successfully. So why, I don't know why that happened. Maybe there's some hack where Playmaker is able to use his skill multiple times. That confused me a lot. Even though we see in the preview too, it looks like Go is grimacing back in the real world while he's in that whole machine. I think he's going to hit his limit, and he might hit his limit in the middle of this duel where he becomes brain dead and he's not even able to use his anti-skill. And Playmaker's just able to use his skill, get a monster, and then end this duel. Result-wise, I could see Go winning and then dying, honestly. I wouldn't even be opposed to that, but I don't think it'll happen.
When I watched the preview, I kind of thought the same thing. I was like, so he's in the storm going to grab a card, but he has the anti-skill, which is what they kept bringing up in the duels.
Yeah,
like, he has
aware
that
of
anti-skill, like, watch out. But I think the one thing that caught me that was different was in the preview, he's like, I have to trust my instincts, and he's basically just saying, he's like, I feel like he almost has like a second level to his skill. Like, that's how I was like thinking of it. Like, maybe he could use it a second time where he stops it and he's like, yeah, well, I went, like, say maybe he goes back above 1,000, then goes back below and he can use it again or something like that. But he's like, I have to trust my instincts or whatever, and jumps in anyway. Yeah. So I think maybe I don't know if there's something different with his skill, or like he evolves his skill, because doesn't he do something different earlier on with, and he says to like, oh, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah,
it's like, I think it's with his skill too.
Was it the Neo Storm Access?
Yeah,
kind of.
So they evolved the skill once, so maybe he can evolve it again to something where he's able to avoid the anti-skill altogether.
Yeah.
Which, I mean,
that was the weirdest part of the episode. That scene in the preview.
Yeah, that was.
I don't really get that. And why would he even try to use his skill when he knows Go is just going to draw 2 cards and negate it?
Yeah.
So even to use the skill, there's something weird that's going to happen in the next episode. Maybe he'll start to get through to Go, and Go will realize the error of his ways. But at this moment, even if Go has a 180 flip, it's too late. He's gone.
Yeah,
he's done.
I agree.
I mean, he's nearing death. And even if he wins, it'd be a great, story with Go where he sacrificed everything, gave into darkness, gave into his inner demons, and finally got the reward he was looking for. But at what cost? It cost him everything. And then he's dead. Yeah. And then he's dead. So it's going to be interesting, guys. But yeah, overall, what do you think of the episode?
I liked it. Because I felt it was not only was there like a lot of action, like with the duel and everything else, but there was also a lot of plot behind it too, where, they go more into with Queen and like how they put Earth into Go, and, they flash back and forth to Ryoken and Spectre, and how they're like kind of watching everything too, and watching how this is unfolding. And I think they all realize like there's something wrong with Go. Like everyone, even then, like watching Lightning at the end of the previous episode where Revolver's like, he's like a real formidable foe. Like he wasn't supposed to win and he won. Yeah. He's like, Blood Shepherd made 0 mistakes and lost. Like, that's really something that, kind of shines through, and he's like, okay, we need to go back to the drawing board on this.
The Knights are getting nervous. Yeah. It's the first time that you can see Ryoken's getting a little nervous, and he also, I'm glad you brought them up because I completely forgot to mention it. Spectre, when he saw that Go had combined with Earth, remember, he shed a tear when Earth died just from feeling it because he's connected with his Ignis. His eyes were trembling. He didn't say anything, but that's like an anime trope when your eyes are trembling that you're worried or upset about something. Yeah. So even Spectre is showing more of a human side with his Ignis starting to be abused a little bit. And it would have been great to see him duel Go to try to avenge his Ignis. But, maybe we'll see that in the future. I doubt it because I do think this really is the end for Go. Ryoken also says something very interesting. He says tenacity will either, drive you to get better, or it will end up just eating away at you and killing you like it did with my dad. Yeah. So it's almost like he finally realizes that his dad has done wrong, which by Ryoken's eyes, his dad couldn't have done wrong up until this point where maybe he's starting to reflect on things a little more, and we're seeing a more human side with him and Spectre, and I do like that a lot because I do like their characters quite a bit. I've pretty much said all I need to about this episode. Are you good?
Yeah, I mean, I think the way that they, I don't know, it's just the way that they kind of brought everyone into, like, everyone's kind of coming together now. Yeah. So there's got to be a point where I know they kind of, like, I don't think they hinted at it, but like I know how they said like the Knights, like they have the same enemy as like Playmaker and them, so the enemy of our enemies are friends.
Absolutely.
I think they're almost going to start turning into just being friends because at this point they realize how big of a threat Lightning is, and they know if they're getting in each other's way, there's no way they're going to stop them.
Yeah.
And I think it's almost going to form this kind of like it's the Knights and then Playmaker, Blue Maiden, and Soulburner. It's kind of them together against the Ignis and also against Soul. Mm-hmm. And I think you bring in Zyzen, who's probably going to join their side with Aoi. And I think that you kind of see a coming together. It's like everyone's going to need to be on the same page if they want to take them out.
Yeah.
So like that's what I'm kind of starting to get from the way the episodes have come.
Yeah, I'd like that a lot. I'd like to see it. Mm-hmm. It's still interesting there because again, the Knights do want to exterminate the Ignis.
Yeah.
So I feel like an allyship would be hard. But yeah, it'll be really interesting. And another interesting thing is if Soul Technologies is going to be the main enemy, they're doing a good job with building up Queen, but they need other characters. We haven't seen any of the other chess pieces since like the 7th episode. Mm-hmm. Kitamura was a joke. And there's no other characters now. Go is going to be gone. Blood Shepherd's going to be gone. The Bounty Hunter team is dismantled. Yeah. So they need more threats in Soul Technologies if Go is going to be dead after this. But yeah, something interesting to keep an eye on. So thank you all for watching the first ever review on this channel with multiple people. Thank you, Cal, for coming on. I really do appreciate it.
Anytime I can.
Yeah, right. Whenever, you can just work from home.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave all your thoughts on episode 81 down below. A special thank you to my platinum tier patrons, Alexa Baker, Glen McGookin, Jorge Carrillo, James Rose, and Omni Lord, and to my diamond tier patrons, Bouldergeist, Jesse Wood, and Odd Eyes Vaughn, and to my Egyptian god tier patron, Syn Cloud. A special thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon because I cannot tell you how much it really does help me out. And a thank you to everyone who just watches these videos because without you guys, I would not be able to do this. At the time of recording, we are less than 100 subscribers from 50,000, which is just, when you say it, it's just insane. So really, guys, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. And I promise that 2019 is going to be the year of giveaways on this channel. I think the best way to give back to you is to run free giveaways. I plan to do booster box giveaways almost every month, and it's just one of the many ways that I really do want to thank you for hitting 50,000. I have a very cool, if you stayed this long, I might as well show you. I ordered a Crossroads of Chaos sealed Yu-Gi-Oh! 5D's booster box that we will be opening and doing a few pack giveaways, card giveaways, searching for the ghost rare of not Ancient Fairy Dragon, Black Rose Dragon, Akiza Azinski's monster. If we can get that, that'd be amazing. But yeah, very excited to open this. That's coming up, to celebrate 50,000. Should be a fun giveaway. So again, thank you all for watching. Thank you for staying through all my blabbering and all our blabbering about the episode. And I hope you have an amazing day.
Thank you.
Hold on, I can always cut this out. Gotta get a drink of water. Sorry, I know I'm gonna hand it over to you in a second.
No, dude, do your thing.
So I'm used to doing these reviews by myself.
Yeah, no, I'm just letting you go.
I appreciate it. Oh man, just went like 5 minutes without taking a breath.